at this point, I don't think anybody's going to check in. So I'm just going to run through my list again, just because I want to go through it. We can do this again in October, but like I said, there was a lot to discuss, so I might as well rip through it for a little bit. So normally I would sit there and tell you guys, that here's the department updates. So as far as COVID, if you guys come to the Civic Center or any town building, you need to wear a mask. Does not matter your vaccination status. That is mandatory by the town. It's a mandate that started September 2nd. So we have that going on. This summer, we had no instances of COVID. So that's wonderful. The Board of Health told us that masks were required when kids were inside. I'll be honest, we were a little lax with it at times. If they could spread out, they were okay. So we allowed them to spread out and not wear their masks. Everything went fine. There was literally not one case, not one parent called and said, boy, my kid isn't feeling good. If they did, they stayed home. Things went so smooth. I couldn't have imagined. I had anxiety going into the summer. It went off without a hitch. It's probably the best summer that I can recall in my nearly 20 years of doing this. Programmatically, we had one program that we canceled all summer long. Again, something that has never happened in my existence. And that one thing that we canceled was the aftercare program of my summer program that I ran. So everybody was gone at 3 o'clock. So there was no more worrying about who got picked up at 5:30. They were gone at 3 and we were still there. And that's something that we may consider doing going forward, not offering that aftercare. It wasn't needed. We had 5 people who registered for the entire summer. That was it. So that's why our cancellation happened, and we did it well in advance of the summer. So, and for our Club Rec program, that's our summer day camp. For the 7 weeks, we had 341 total kids. So we averaged 48 kids a week. I capped it at 50 this year just to be safe. We were there. We had a wait list on many weeks. So we know next year, numbers are there. We're only going to grow. I had the best staff I have ever had in my entire life. They were wonderful this year. We had one injury. We had one time where a staff member, for whatever reason, picked up a kid. Another kid jumped on his back. The other one fell out of his arms and she landed on her head. She had a small concussion. She got a little neck injury. Overall fine. We put in a claim just to make sure that they could get their deductible back. That's the only injury that we had under our programs all summer long. Pretty amazing. I mean, bumps, bruises, of course, those happen. Nothing significant. Our blacktop basketball program had 78 kids this summer. We ran an adaptive basketball program, and we're starting to get into the adaptive programming world. Communitas, who's been in town forever, has no recreation department right now, so we're kind of picking up a little bit of that slack. So we did a basketball program that had 10 kids. We had a chess program that over 2 weeks had 25 kids. We ran a Dungeons and Dragons program, something very different. We only had 5, but for a start, that was great. We were psyched with that. We had a program, Expert Architects, that had 12. We ran 2 football clinics in conjunction with Reading Recreation. We had 27 kids for those 2 programs. Again, just starting, that was run by the Endicott College coach. Went very well. Basketball with Jason Pavey had 32 kids over 2 weeks. We ran field hockey clinics with Tina Matera, who is the Tufts University coach. So she couldn't host any kind of recruit camps this year. So she ran it through us. And with her doing that, she had 228 kids over 4 weeks. And we were able to take a percentage of that. So that was a big boon for us. I think we pulled in 10 grand just to offer those programs for her and give her space. That was a big lift for us. Wow. We ran a Ninja Warrior program this summer. We had one kid after the first day. The first week we offered it, it was that one week where it's 100 degrees every single day. We had one kid who pulled out of that, understandably. We had 26 kids for the 2 weeks we ran it. Went very, very well. Rocket Science, we had 8 kids. We ran a program called Snag Golf. And the Snag Golf program is kind of modified golf, really for the kind of the tots, kind of beginners, kind of get them into it. For the 2 age groups, we had 29 kids. There was one injury on the first day in the first 3 minutes. Other than that, everything went swimmingly well. Soccer shots, which we've done for years. We were full. We could only take X amount of numbers for each age group. We had 24 kids. We maxed. I'll get into that for fall, the story with that. Sports Zone ran with us this summer, as they always do. Their numbers were off the charts. We did that as a drop-in program, so we didn't have to list it as a camp. And the last couple of weeks, once my program ended, they had 50, 60 kids a day. Tennis this summer had 100 plus kids enrolled in the program. Lego civic project that we had, that had 11 kids in it. Wakefield Soccer Association ran 3 weeks, 179 total for the summer. Warrior basketball, that was a last minute addition, literally 12th hour. We got 11 kids to sign up. You know, I think going forward, that will be huge. This year, it is what it is. Warrior baseball, the high school baseball coach, first year we've ever run it, 60 kids maxed out, 17 kids on the wait list. That will be huge going forward. Warrior softball, our first year ever offering that, 37 girls signed up, and that was the first week right after school ended. Went very well. We had a program, Wicked Cool Vet School, 16 kids. Watch Me Play, which was like a taught program with moms or caretakers and their children. We had 10 kids. We're starting a children's theater program. This kind of came to us late in the summer. We ran it for 2 weeks in August. We had 35 kids. Archery, we had 11 kids. Rock climbing, we had 14 kids, and the amount that parents got to pay for this program is incredible, just because of the space that they have, the overhead they have, and we still got 14 kids. I'm astonished at that. And
where
then
do you have that, Dan?
It is at Central Rock Gym in Stoneham.
Okay.
And then we ran basketball clinics with Kim Penny and John Walsh, Paul Moran. They more rented the courts from us than actually underneath us. Their programs went great. So summer, wildly successful. It's something to build off of, and hopefully next year we'll have the same thing. Oh, hold on, let me go. Okay, now on to the other side for fall. So for programs that we have coming up or going on, we're doing blacktop basketball on Saturdays. We have 26 registered, and we're going to allow drop-in for that. And that's for ages or grades 5 and up. So we'll see how it goes. Here's what I know. I'm paying one staff member to be there. I've covered that cost already. Everything that we're making a profit off of it as is. We just hope to get more kids involved and give them something to do. We are doing the theater program again this summer, this fall. We have 11 currently registered for our older age group, which is grades ages 5 to 12. We're also offering a Broadway Babies program, which is going to be from basically newborns to 2 years old. There's only 3 signed up right now, but we expect that'll be something that parents would like to do. And then a creative drama program for ages 4 and 5. And again, 1 signed up so far, but registration just started. I think these are things that'll take off. We're offering a volleyball program. It's not exactly what I want to do, but I know that the interest in volleyball is there. So we got a vendor to do it. We have 12 signed up. That's going to be on Saturday mornings at the Civic Center. Our fencing program, which is kind of continuous throughout the year, he's got 20 signed up. We have a youth field hockey clinic that we're doing with the Tufts coach again in conjunction with Wakefield High School as well. We have 25 signed up for that. That's on Sunday mornings. We're doing a Nerf battlefield program with Sports Zone. They have 9 total right now. We'll see how it goes. Pickleball lessons actually start up next week. We are full for the 4 classes that we're offering. So we can only take 8. I have a different instructor this year. Not because we wanted a new instructor. She just felt it was time to do something different. So it is what it is. Flag football, we have a total of 273 kids participating. That is the most we have ever had in Wakefield. Great numbers. Walsh Moran are doing a basketball clinic on Mondays and Fridays. We have 64 total for that. We are doing we're calling it Winners, WINAS soccer. That is our adaptive soccer program. It is Wakefield Inclusive Activities and Sports. That's kind of the analogy for it, or the anagram for it. Only 2 right now. That's going to bump up. If we had 10 for basketball, we'll at least get 10 for this, and I think that we'll get more. Again, this is just beginning phase of what we're going to do with that. Archery. So for the past couple of years, we've partnered with Stoneham on archery because they weren't able to get great numbers. We weren't able to get great numbers. So to make the class run, we combined. Well, wouldn't you know it, this fall, we found a day that worked for both towns. We said, okay, you get 6, we get 6. I filled up my 6 within a half hour. He filled up his 6 within 35 minutes. I have 9 on the wait list. So we know that this is a big thing we can do going forward. Unfortunately, we had to make a decision, and it is what it is this year. But we know going in the spring, hey, You guys can offer your own class. We can offer our own class, and that's great. Rock climbing, we're offering again. So like I said, it's a pretty big price. Yeah, it's $420, and we have 7 kids signed up for it this fall. It is great. We are offering a new program with Healthy Aging PT. That's run by a Wakefield resident, and we're going to try a trial program first, or one day, kind of see what the interest is, and it's going to be power over Parkinson's. So people with Parkinson's, or people who have, that in their family, and they want to know how to kind of cope with that, work with that, this class will help them with that. And then we'll hopefully do that with, a strong bones program. This is more from the senior population. I got Judy Luciano's blessing to do this stuff because I never want to step on any toes. And it looks like it's going to be wildly successful if it goes as we expect. I wanted to go back to summer too. Boating, obviously the Boys and Girls Club got the boating contract of the summer. It's gone great. They've been so easy to work with. I think when I last talked to them, they said their unique numbers was around between 1,300 and 1,900 different users. I think those are great numbers. So I can't be happy with how that has gone. And it was just we're very lucky with the summer that we had. We're lucky with the fall that we have. The one thing that stinks is, so we've worked with Soccer Shots for Tots for a few years now. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we lost our old contact with them. His branch of the company closed down. So we got a new contact who is from North Andover. It went great this summer, and he wanted to do it again with us. He couldn't commit to doing it on Saturdays or Sundays. Those days that we need it done, he wanted to do it on Friday nights. There's no space to do it on Friday nights, especially the time that he wanted. We would have need lights. It wasn't going to happen. So I reached out to 2 other vendors to see if we could do that age group for soccer. Apparently everybody's having the same problems where they can't get people to come in and work. And we know that across the restaurant industry and other stuff. So we don't have any taught soccer this fall, which is sad for us. Thankfully, Wakefield Soccer Association does have some for that age group. So anybody who's called us, we're trying to refer them to there. But that was a source of revenue that we had. Although we didn't make a ton off of it, we made something. We're not able to meet that need this fall. Something that we'll work on for the spring, because kind of is what it is. For AmeriCal stuff, just kind of keep everybody up to date. So upstairs in the Civic Center, we have the Mass Partnership for Youth, we have the Scholarship Foundation, and we have JC Marketing. JC Marketing has a huge footprint up there where they have 2 unique rooms. They're giving up one side. They told me this April, May, can't remember what. And Mass Partnership for Youth is taking over that side because they needed more space. They're busting at the seams. They're taking over that space basically effective October 4th. It's kind of, JC Marketing kind of has been delaying when they can get out because of varying factors. I finally had to tell them, listen, this group, you guys wanted to get out of here originally June 1st. Then it became, okay, can we go to August 1st? It was September 7th when I said it's time. So I gave them until the 30th of the month, but then that, the 1st is a Friday. Nothing's going to happen. We need to do some work to it first. So they're going to be out with everything by the 4th. And then the town's going to go in and, do some painting and some little prep work that we need just to make it look a little better for a new tenant. The Boys and Girls Club is using the Heritage Room after schools this year from 2 to 6 on Mondays through Fridays. We could have tried to run our own programming. My feeling was I was going to take the guaranteed revenue over we're not sure what's going to happen. Let's throw something against the wall and see what sticks. So took the guaranteed revenue, and it's working out well for us because we know that we're getting guaranteed money for that space, and it's working out well for them because, again, they need more space. So everything all in all is going well. As far as like the adult users at night, so because of the mask mandate, 2 groups so far have indicated that they're not going to come until the mask mandate's lifted. Totally understood. We have a bunch of middle-aged men who are running around with a mask to play basketball, and a lot don't want to do it. They don't feel safe. So I've held their space for them. It's something that I've let the town know that this is impacting our potential revenues. And quite honestly, the same thing's happening with pickleball. We started pickleball last week. We've had a total of 10 people so far. we normally had 10 people in the first 5 minutes on the first day. So, people figured out that they can play outdoors, which is good for them, bad for us. But it's impacted us. So that's where we're at with that. I hope that there's an end to this sometime soon, but who knows? But again, this is not something that's totally unexpected or something that I, have made others aware of. So working on that. The other factor is, so our roof in the gym leaks. It's always had a leak or two. When I say that we had 15 leaks this summer on any given rainy day, that's not an exaggeration. That's probably dead on. We have buckets everywhere. So unfortunately, when it rains out and the pickleball players could come inside to play because they can't play outside, we can't even host them because I have that many leaks. I'm working with the town. Again, they're aware of it. I put it in writing to people that this is not just a revenue concern, but also a safety concern. So I hope that there's some resolution on it sooner than later. Again, the leaks are nothing new. They've been there since I got there and before my tenure there. So it's a work in progress. And I hope that this can be resolved, realistically before next summer. That's where I'm looking at. And I don't know what it's going to look like in the winter. I don't know if, from snow, if we're going to get leaks. That never happened before. Well, it did happen 1 or 2 times on massive snowstorms, but it's a rare occurrence. Now, almost any rainstorm we get rain in the gym. So it's something that we're keeping an eye on. And then finally, again, with all the protocols, changes in the world, obviously rentals of the Heritage Room are down. I had one group who wanted to come in and do some Tai Chi rentals in the Heritage Room. So we're going to make that work. Again, wherever I can grab revenues at this point and have it consistent, I'm going to do that. So it's kind of where we're at for that. It's not obviously the best news, but it is the reality of the world today. As far as fields, basically it's the same as always. High school athletics has what they have when they need it. Their schedule is the same as always, except now they have Walton Field at the Galvin from 2 to 7:30. They made an arrangement with WSA, Wakefield Soccer Association, for that time frame, and now Wakefield Soccer gets Mullen Field from 4 o'clock on. So there was some sort of trade-off. I don't know if it's working. Quite frankly, it's not my problem. That's WSA high school problem. They worked out the deal. They got to live by it and die by it at this point. Maybe they adjust next year. Maybe it works out great. It is what it is. Soccer seems happy. Youth football's doing their thing. Men's softball still going on. High school baseball has some sort of a league, fall league going on. Nothing that I need to worry about. Pickleball court update. Let's call it the McKenna courts at Vets Field. Those are being renovated soon, from my understanding. It had been held up because of, I think it was DEP issues. But the contract is ready to go. Everything's been signed. So that should be starting soon, which is exciting, just to be able to get that outside. And again, that we can do that much like we do with the tennis and make it rentable space. One thing going forward, and I've had conversations with Brendan about this, and I need to do more work on it first, but I want to bring it to your attention. So high school teams generally like to use space in the off season. So boys soccer, girls soccer want dedicated time on a turf field, however many days a week. Baseball wants stuff during the fall. Field hockey wants stuff whenever. Band wants things whenever. Again, I'm talking just off season. I need to find a better way of doing it because, and not to pick on girls soccer in this instance, but they're the ones who kind of stick with me the most. The coach wanted Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 6 to 7 at Walton Field. She rented it. She reserved it. She didn't rent it. And Tony could probably comment better than I can. Well, I can't tonight, but again, discussion for another day. I don't know that they're there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every day from 6 to all those 3 days for 6 to 7. That is
Audrey. My daughter has practice from 3 to 5 every day.
Not now, Tone. During the summer.
Okay.
So they're taking up prime time that could be rented to somebody else. And that's kind of that. And again, I don't think coaches and administrators are supposed to be renting time for captain's practice. I think that's a team thing.
And Dan, if this conversation wasn't being recorded,
yes, it'd be a different conversation.
We'd have a different conversation.
Right. And this is one that we need to have at a different time. And, hopefully we're all together. Because I think there's more to this. I just don't want to be giving up prime time that could be rentable to whatever group, to groups that I don't know that they're actually using that much space or that much time. If it's for a captain's practice, I know what it was like 20 something years ago, almost 30 years ago. Sometimes people come, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I need a full field, sometimes I didn't. I'd almost rather sit there and say, hey guys, we know that nobody's going to be on here XYZ time, go, as opposed to I'm giving you a block of time for 10 weeks and maybe it's used, maybe it's not. There's got to be a better way to do it. And I need to reach out to some other towns and see how they handle it. But there's a lot of field study. We've talked about this before. I need to do a big field study, and considering that things are a little bit slow right now, especially with the Civic Center the way it is, I can do more of this kind of project. So this is coming down the road along with, our field fees, our basketball court fees, our tennis court fees, all that stuff's going to be rolled in. And I'm hoping to have that to you guys by spring so we can implement that for next fall. Just throwing that out there. Okay. Speaking of basketball court, so you're all aware that there was the unfortunate situation down at the Galvin this summer where somebody went down there and tossed a can of what I call Barney purple paint, and it was all over the court. It was a gallon of it, and it was chunked in some areas, and others was just spread out. The town found out who it was. The police caught him. It was 3 kids who were from Stoneham. They were brought into the police. They were charged. I'm assuming that they were juveniles. They apparently found the paint along the side of the road, went for a joyride, and just found somewhere and tossed it. That's the information I got. There are no reparations for it. They did get community service. I feel like kids make bad choices, but adults do too. So if they're youth and they have no previous record, I guess everybody deserves a second chance. So it is what it is, but the courts are damaged. The town was able to get up as much paint as they could. Our DPW did the facilities department did a fantastic job. They went down there with every possible way of getting it up, from pressure washing to acetone to paint thinner to whatever it was, to try and get up as much as they could. They got up a bunch. Some of it did, as they were taking up, did take up the red paint on the court. So there is going to need to be some work done at some point. But it is what it is. Dennis Fazio has priced out, from my understanding, to get the court fenced in completely where we can lock the gates if needed. And we are going to go forward with that. Ideally, we wouldn't have to, but the way the court is used and the vandalism that goes down to the trash that's left down there, I think this is our only recourse. I could turn off the lights like I have for the past however many years at this point. It feels like a rite of passage during the summer where I do it. The police asked me not to do that, and they had good sound reasoning. Dan, if something's going on down there, we can't see it. So they were right. So I left lights on until 11 in the summer, just so there was more of a light presence. And honestly, once the lights stayed on longer, and I think once it became a big issue, the bad behavior stopped. But that's what happened. And it stunk. And they found that whoever was down there found chalk and wrote some less than pleasant stuff on the walls. Dennis Fazio came down right away, helped me kind of at least scratch off some of the stuff before the kids arrived who were going to use the courts for the day. And then the staff, the custodial staff from the Galvin was great. They came out with a hose and hosed it all down. But again, these are the things that we're dealing with at 7:30 in the morning on Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is. I got a group of kids coming in, and this is the first thing that you're welcome to in the morning. Things need to change in some ways, but I think some of them are fixable, and I think we put the gates on where if we need to lock it up, we can lock it up. We do that. So that's where we are with that. Obviously, so you guys who can see what's going on, we do have a new kind of member of our commission. We have Nicholas Wachowski, and Nick, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. No, I'm not. What is it?
It's pronounced Walczewski.
Walczewski. Okay, so Nicholas Walczewski. He's an 8th grade at the Galvin, and he's going to be our new liaison for the youth council. Nicholas and I are meeting next week to kind of have a formal, get together, get to know one another. And, I want to know what his vision is, what he sees his role being, and how I can help the youth of the town better. I know I don't have all the answers. I'm smart enough to know that. So, getting the 8th grade perspective, and going forward, how can we do stuff for teens? How can we help the high school population? I think that's where he's going to really give me stuff that I don't know. Granted, I have teenagers of my own, and I know what they want. So, having somebody who can tell me is going to be invaluable to me. So I look forward to meeting him next Wednesday. And then the last thing that I want to say, and this is a general statement to everybody, and we talked about Facebook before. Facebook's crazy. Everybody has an opinion. People are posting all sorts of stuff about this, that, or the other thing. One thing that we have to remember, and I have to do this too, we cannot post as, well, I guess I do at times, as a member of whatever commission we're on. So when you post something, you post as yourself. Do not say as a member of this, as a member of that. Then it becomes part of public record. And those are things that we don't want. That's a foxhole we don't want to go down. So if you want to do something on social media, it's great. You can do whatever you want. Just do it as you, so do it as Sue Hickey, do it as Tony Longo, do it as Jed Barrett, do it as Chris Gargano. Do it as you guys, just not as part of the Recreation Commission, because then that just creates a whole other ball of stuff that I wasn't even aware of until, I don't know, a couple months ago when I had to go through a training for it. So that's kind of what I got, though I do see that Jed is in now, and I see Rich is in now. So I guess we kind of do have a formal meeting, though we were never officially called to order. So let's just kind of call it a day.
Sorry, I was late.
That's all right. That's all right. I don't know what time you jumped in, and I don't know what time Jed jumped in. I know that he's been
on for quite a while. They were on for 90 to 95%, I think, of what you said, Dan.
Okay. Because we never called it formally to order the meeting. So I don't know if we want to do that now or if we just want to let it go as is. That's up to you guys.
No, we should call it to order and just end it.
Okay. And we can certainly do that. And then, so next meeting, one thing that, I definitely want to go over because we do need to go over it, is the reorganization of the board. If we want to do that, again, I'm indifferent to whatever, Rich has been great to work with. I don't know if he wants to continue in that role or if somebody else wants to step up into that role, and Jed's been great in his role. And I don't know if he wants to stay in the role. I don't care. That's a you guys thing, but I know that we're at that point or beyond that point where we need to start thinking about that. So just put that in the back of your heads for October. So if we want to do a formal call to order and then a formal vote to adjourn, we can do that.
Dan, before we do that, has another member been appointed to the board besides our youth council?
Not that I'm aware of.
Replace Annie, I'm saying?
Nope. So we just still have the 8.
And what about Todd's position too? We have 8. So
we have 8. Annie's out. Tony took over for Todd. Tony's in for Todd, so it's just okay. Annie who's out. Because Annie moved after her reappointment. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So we've got one open position, right?
So there's one open position, yeah. We have 8, we're a board of 9. Not including Nicholas. Okay, so do we want to do a formal call to order?
I would like to make a motion to open the meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Hi, Jay.
Aye.
Hi, I don't know. I was trying to use my phone. Sorry, I was in a bad cell area. I don't know what happened. I had the
That's
whole
all right,
plan.
buddy.
I had a whole plan in place. It didn't work.
That's all right, pal.
You're looking good. You sounded good.
All right. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, we got you. So if you guys have any questions about any of the stuff that I said now that we can formally do that part?
I had questions as you were going on. I've forgotten half of them now, or most of them. But you mentioned during the summer camp there was a football program.
Yep.
Is that regular football or is that flag football?
It's regular football, but there's no pads, there's no tackling. It is helmets. It's more conditioning than anything.
So is it like a precursor to
Yes.
going to Pop Warner kind of thing?
Or high school. Yep.
Or okay.
And again, that was run by the Endicott College coach who, oddly enough, I actually grew up with him here in Reading. He played at University of Kentucky in college and a few, then coached a bunch of other places, a bunch of D1 schools, and then ended up being the head coach at Endicott. So I knew it was going to be a good program. Everybody who attended it loved it. Reading had huge numbers, but of course, he's based out of here. I think going forward, it's something that can only grow.
I guess I did remember one other question. The Boys and Girls Club was looking for a space. I know there was talk about going across the street at one time. Are they still looking for space, or are they committed to the Civic Center?
I think they're committed to the Civic Center. I think
because it does, as good as the revenue is continuous and as good as the program is, it may be, it does limit the use by other members of the community to use that facility, especially the Heritage Room.
I think that I think the right space came along at the right price. I think they go somewhere else, but I think they'll always have a presence at the Civic Center. I think that will always be their team area, and it makes sense because the Galvin's right across the field. So they will always be there. If they go anywhere else, it's going to be for their early education or early childhood program. So like the K to 4s. But they will always be the Civic Center. The question will be, how much space will they need?
Are they done with across the street?
Oh yeah, that apparently, from all indications, is near a sale. To whom I don't know, but I've heard that there is some sort of agreement. Anything else? Sue, Tony, Chris, anything?
All good, Dan. I've heard the same thing about the Melise space.
Yep. Okay, well, if nothing else, and you guys want to do a motion to adjourn, we can entertain that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn
Second.
because it is pushing 8 o'clock.
I mean, Survivor's on in
My
10,
volleyball
17
game
minutes.
is over. I want you to know.
You know, it's the one thing I look for. Well, no, it's not the one thing. It's the second thing I look forward to. The past game first, Survivor second.
There you go.
You know, I should have tried out for that about 10 years ago. Telling you, had a big bar and stole my way to the top.
It's been on a long time, that show.
40 seasons, baby. 40
Is
seasons.
it really?
Yeah,
Holy mackerel.
and I'm pretty sure I've watched 38 of them. So, Nicholas, this is what you have to look forward to when you get older. You get to look forward to Survivor, okay, buddy?
Nicholas, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicholas. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah, Nick, you'll like this group a lot. They're good people. I think everybody who's here tonight, has been on the board since I was hired over 8 years ago. So they're great people. They steered me to a lot of good things, and you will be part of that as well. So I appreciate it.
I do have one more question. Any consideration to meeting in person, or is it something that has to be done down at WCAT?
this is the way that we have to do it right now. I would
Or-
love to meet in person. This is the way we gotta do it right now. The moment we can, we will. Because I'm an in-person, face-to-face person. You know, even when Nicholas emailed me about, joining, I said, hey, can you meet face-to-face? I can't stand Zoom. I hate the phone. I prefer to do it face-to-face, but this is where we're at right now. And let's just hope that sooner than later, we can get back to face-to-face and do what we do.
Would it be at WCAT though, if they're gonna be
Um,
recorded, or would it
No,
be?
I think the first floor conference hall at town hall, first floor conference room where we used to meet, I think that has recording capabilities.
That's difficult to book as well, though. When
Yes.
people start going back to meeting.
Well,
in
hopefully we
person.
can get that installed at the Civic Center, then we don't have to worry about
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
it,
You
And
can
that
get a
gives
grant on.
that gives the town more capabilities too. So it can be a win-win. I just gotta keep
Is
selling
it-
things.
I know I had another question that just popped into my head about the roof. Is that like is there any thought of putting in like a capital,
Well, that's
planning?
so Joe Conway and I had a brief email conversation, and he told me that I need to bring that to capital. I've never brought stuff for the Civic Center to capital before. That's always fallen underneath facilities. So again, it's not like this is a new issue. This has been a known issue. And other things have gone in for capital that I don't know why, but I don't have any say in it, and I've never had say in it. Next capital round, if it's not done beforehand, I will be at the capital table dancing on it if I need to put it for the new roof. And
Because I mean, brand new floor. We
Yes,
spent
and I
all that
brought that up
money on a beautiful floor.
Yeah.
And if you have to have buckets on it and nobody can use it,
right, it's a
then
waste.
defeats the purpose.
Correct. Which was my point too. But I don't want to say any more than that. I do, but I should.
My questions are done, Dan.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
done
you.
for the evening.
I don't want to go down that hole. You were leading me down it, Gene.
No, I pulled you right back though.
Yeah, thank you. All right, well, that's it, everybody. Nicholas, I will see you next week. Everybody else, I will definitely see you in October. Please feel free to stop by, ask more questions if you have more questions, because I have more answers. And I can, yeah, we'll go there.
Hey, have a great time at the game on
Thank you. Look
Sunday.
forward to it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, bye, everybody.